Hello, this is Marie Manucherry. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for liking and subscribing. I truly appreciate that. I'm doing part 2 right now of answering questions that some people wrote into my my Facebook page. So I'm going to be answering 2 questions. They were kind of long, and I'm going to be using a little whiteboard so you can see what I'm talking about. So this first question comes from Cherie. Just making sure I'm answering the right question. Okay, she says that she recently called me about her magnificence and purpose, and she's very determined in this area to discover it. She really wants to know about vibration, energy, consciousness, and intuition, and she writes, "You taught me about getting into desire and used the example of cooking a good meal or desiring a partner. I can imagine these things easily, but I do not know how to get into desire for something that I'm not even sure what it is." This, I believe, is about work. Could you clarify? I also wonder if you have more information about specifically where my gifts might be for work, so I have a bit more direction. She says, thank you for your insight and work. And that's what she says. So I drew out Sherry's energy. So this is her chakra system based on my drawing. In energy medicine, we start at the bottom and we move up. Chakras are round or orb-like discs, bodies of light, but when I dive into them, they turn into cones. And there is a cone on the front of our body and the back of our body for chakras 2 through 6. And then chakras 1 and 7 are pairs for each other, and they meet dimensionally right here at the 3rd chakra, the solar plexus. So this is Cherry's energy. And the question is really about how does she discover her passion so she can work in a field that is fulfilling for her and that she loves. And I had told her that she needs to sit in the vibration of desire, and that did not make sense to her. So that's why we're talking about this. There are 3 leaks actually happening in Sherry's energy. Her root chakra is leaking. I draw these very fast because I don't want my logical mind to get involved. I just want to read the energy. So there's a leak here in the root chakra and the 7th, and a small leak in the 2nd chakra. This is one's connection to spirit. This is about our connection to the earth and feeling nurtured and loved and safe here while we live here. And this second one, which the leak is actually quite small, is about passion. It governs career, relationships, personal friendships, so intimate partnerships, friendships, creativity, money. This is the juicy chakra number 2. And Cherry's 2nd chakra is also too small. I want it to be as big as the 3rd one, not necessarily the 4th, but as big as the 3rd or even the 5th. Luckily, she's taken in a lot of energy into her 3rd eye, her 5th chakra, her 4th, and there's no leak in the 3rd. This chakra right here actually feeds the immune system, so it's great when there's no leak. Not a lot of people pull a lot of energy into their 3rd chakra typically, mostly because this chakra is about self-love, and most people don't know how to feel that or allow themselves to feel self-love for any length of time, not even annually. So that's why we have problems with our immune systems, particularly in the United States and beyond, of course, beyond the US. So here's the tricky thing about manifesting something that you don't know what it is, but you want it to come to you so you can develop it and allow it to be in your life. You don't have to know what anything is that you desire, but you can imagine what it would feel like if you were working in a career, Sherry, that turned you on and lit your soul on fire. You know what that would feel like. So every day, your job, I know this sounds very simple, but we're talking about moving subatomic particles so that something can be manifested in the physical realm. Every day, your job is to imagine that that has already happened. And no, you don't have to know what it is, ever. Because the universe already knows who you are, what your natural gifts and talents are. But every day, you need to feel fulfilled that you have a vital, thriving, successful, amazing work in your life. Now, you might know a few things, like maybe you want to work for a company, or maybe you'd like to own your own business, maybe you'd like to work from home, or maybe you'd like to have the business outside of the house. These are things that you may have already determined, but there's no way you could possibly know all the ins and outs of what you want because you haven't discovered it yet. But you can discover it. It can easily fly into your life, like instantaneously, even if you give yourself a couple weeks or even up to a few months of feeling this energy that you already have an incredible job that lights your soul on fire. So what you're doing when you allow that energy to come into your body is that you're calibrating. I use this word a lot when it comes to energy medicine. Think of the human form as kind of like this empty vessel. And what you put inside of it matters, and how long you allow that vibration to be in your body matters. If you're thinking about, oh my gosh, I have an amazing, cool job, I love it, I'm so happy, I'm so fulfilled, and you let those feelings build in your body. You don't have to think about the logical aspects of that job, and you hold it for like a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, maybe up to 5 minutes. You are drawing that job into your life. The rest of the time, I want you to stay in some sort of happy mood. Focus on the present moment, because a job that lights your soul on fire is going to come through you when you're in a good space. So those are the things that you have to do. And the reason why I can't totally see your natural gifts and talents is because you keep your energy too low. Having a leak in the crown and the root chakra really lowers your vibration. And this is really has to do a lot with trust. You don't trust the universe. You don't trust the earth either. So perhaps a good what if question for you could be, what if I learned to trust the physical and the non-physical realities? And when you ask a what if question, try not to analyze the answer or project what the answer should be. I just want you to ask the question. Don't think about anything else. Just let go and allow yourself to be surprised. That's what the universe loves more than anything, is to surprise us. And you want to be surprised. You want to be delighted. You want to go, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. That's amazing. That's what you want. So give this a try. I know it doesn't sound like a solid plan or path. That's good. You've already tried the solid plans or paths, and they have not led you to your destination. Now you need to try the energetic path and plan of holding that vibration, calibrating your energy system so that you can see, hear, and feel and identify your new career. All right, keep me posted. Okay, one more question I think I'll be able to fit into this video. This comes also from Cheryl. We have lots of Cheryls and Cherries. The question is, I'm a highly sensitive empath and become overstimulated and fatigued constantly when I go outside of my home. It has been extremely challenging for me to work a job. I'm sure some of you can relate to this, because coming into contact with people makes me so drained. I've been looking for jobs working with autistic kids one-on-one, but it too drains me so much that I needed a few days off to recover. I tried your what if questions and asked what if God or the universe has given me incredible vitality. I love that question, by the way. Well, I'm hoping it to manifest so I can actually have the needed energy to work. I just am so tired from even coming out of a phone interview with a job interviewer that what can I do to overcome my chronic fatigue? So I'm going to leave the question from there. It goes on a little bit further. This actually has very little to do with the outside world. So you're looking at the wrong problem. This has nothing to do with other people. This has everything to do with your energy. And what it means is that the third layer of your auric field is not functioning correctly. So everyone has an aura. Everything has an aura. So plants, animals, tables, computers, everything has an aura. I'm just going to make a little drawing here. The third layer of the auric field is called the mental plane, and it has a very strong relationship with the third chakra, which I talked about, I believe, on the last video that I made answering questions. It protects the immune system. Individuals who don't trust, which is interesting, second time I'm bringing that up, that means a lot of people who will be listening to this video have issues with trust as well. The third layer of the auric field, the mental plane, is all about our thoughts. And it's a structured field. It's yellow in color. I'm making it pink for our conversation. And because it's structured, it's going to have grid lines that hold it together. So this would be Cheryl, and this is the third layer of her auric field. I'm just drawing it in pink because that was the color that I had, and it actually goes in well with our conversation. Your field is supposed to be yellow. Yellow is the color of self-love. And you have a lot of negative feelings about yourself and about the world. You don't trust, again, you don't feel safe. And at the same time, because you're highly empathetic, you are trying to help other people. until your energy is healed, I am recommending that you spend less time trying to help other people because you don't have the energy to do it. And of course, you already know this. So this is what your field is supposed to look like in terms of there's lots of beautiful grid lines. It's all filled out around you, meaning that the field can't be penetrated. Energy can't just leak out of the field that you need that comes from the mental plane, and foreign material can't just move into your field because the structure is so strong. But that's not what's happening for you. When I look at the third layer of your auric field, I can barely see it. You have holes, gaping holes throughout. This is one of the problems of diseases like chronic fatigue syndrome and another one that escapes me, that it's an autoimmune disease. So this is actually more represents how I see your field. You don't have protection. In other words, the field has gaping holes, so your life force just leaks out of it. You're trying to help people, and you have a negative mental perception about yourself and the world. So no more taking care of other people for a while. And what I want you to do, this is actually an exercise that comes from the Hands of Light. Barbara Brennan made this exercise. My field, when I first started to do energy work, because I could see my energy, I couldn't see my third layer of my auric field at all. And although I could do a lot of things in the world and not be drained, there was a couple things I couldn't do. I couldn't be in large crowds. I would easily get depleted. I would easily get exhausted. I would get dizzy, almost faint, like if I were at a football game. I could be at like one of my kids' soccer games, but I couldn't be in a large stadium full of a lot of people. So when you're highly empathetic, which you are, Cheryl, and your field is compromised, and you have this over empathetic heart chakra, like you really care for people, other people can feel this about you, like, oh, she could help me, or she cares about me. And they start flooding and grasping your energy because you are basically saying, I don't care about my energy. Anybody is welcome to it, and I don't care if I get drained. So there's a beautiful physical exercise that I alluded to just a moment ago. It's in the book, The Hands of Light. It's by Barbara Brennan. And it's kind of a Tai Chi exercise where it's just a simple bending and scooping with your hands and your body. So you bend your knees and you scoop and you make this kind of circular pattern. You'll be able to find it in the book. It's called the auric field exercise. And then you're supposed to visualize the colors of the chakras while you do this exercise. It takes about 10 minutes. I'm going to recommend that you do it every day for about 8 months. That's how long it's going to take you to rebuild the third layer of your auric field. And you're going to be shocked and surprised once this field is back and humming. And I'm sending a bunch of energy to it right now so it can start to rebuild even sooner, that you're going to start to set boundaries. You're going to start to say no. You're going to have a stronger self-opinion of yourself. You're not going to overgive or over-nurture others. That's what kind of got you in trouble anyway. I can now go to football games. I can go to Sounders game or a Mariners game. Of course, none of us are going to sporting events right now, and I can sit anywhere in the stadium and fully enjoy myself and sit with my family and friends and enjoy a game. Or I could go to a huge music concert where before I couldn't. It was exhausting for me. I would feel immediately drained. So your life is going to change, but you need to do that exercise. It's the auric field exercise in the Hands of Light book. It was written like in the 80s by Barbara Ann Brennan. And then you'll be perfectly fine. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.